grab your cup. This is a really important message, okay? I want you to listen up. You are not what's happened to you. Say it again. You are not what's happened to you. Say it to yourself. I am not what's happened to me. I don't care if people cheated on you. I don't care if you've been divorced more than once. I don't care if you've had a loss of health. I don't care if you grew up in abusive households, if your parents were alcoholics. I don't care if you've lost all your money. I don't care what it is. That is not you. And if you're choosing to have that define you, I want you to stay with me on this conversation, okay? This conversation actually was in a client coaching call last night, and it just grew organically from what we were talking about. But so many people really have the events of their life define who they are, and they have those events create the identity that they see for themselves. That's what happens. So here's a different perspective. You've probably heard the phrase, we are a spirit here having a human experience, okay? If you haven't, there's a phrase out there, we're all souls, or we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. I want to change that for you and apply this change to what we're talking about. You're actually a soul here in a human body having a spiritual experience. It's very different, and here's how it's different. The human experience is one of judgment and competition and fear and anger and blame and holding shame. The human experience is all of those things. And when you're having a human experience, when you're living your life that way, that's how life feels. You hold shame, you stay angry, you're resentful, you're competing for your place in the world, all of that. But if you are a soul who's here to have a spiritual experience while you're in this human body, here's how that could look. You're here choosing love instead of fear. You're here standing in acceptance for whatever the circumstances are, and then choosing how to live your life in the midst of them. So when life is happening, people cheat on us, divorce, it's kind of like life could beat you up, right? It's like douche, douche, douche. And you're stuck there in that getting beat upness, in that victim place of all these things have happened. And that's one way to live. And if you've been doing that and you don't like how it feels, here's another way to live. Choosing that spiritual being of yourself, choosing joy, choosing love, choosing acceptance, and having that be who you are. And then when life comes at you, things happen, loss happens, you feel it. Because we're human, we have to feel it. One of the biggest things is people want to shove their emotions aside. They don't want to talk about them, or they just want to pretend they're not there, or they're afraid to feel them. Feel it, and then choose to come back to who you say you are. You get to decide who you say you are. Is it a victim who's, getting knocked around by all of the things in life? Or is it someone who is choosing to have joy and be grateful and have acceptance, and when those things happen, experience them and then choose to come back? And here's an important part of that. If you're thinking, well, how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. I get it. That's why we do the work that we do. But here's one thing. Understand that your emotions are not you. When we feel emotions, it's like this cloak is over us and the emotions are us. They're not you. So you can change how you're feeling once you allow yourself to feel them. If you shove them down, then they don't go away. But if you feel them, then you get to say, how long am I going to stay here? How long am I going to stay in anger? How long am I going to stay in grief? How long do I want to be a victim? I get to say. until you realize that you have a choice, you just stay there because that's all you know, right? But once you realize you have a choice, then it's you choosing to stay there or you choosing to find your way back to who you say you are. And who you say you are is the truth of your life, regardless of what's happened to you, what other people have done, what other people say. You get to say who you are. And if being a victim is not what you want to say anymore, say something else. Have a spiritual experience while you're living in this human life. Have a good day.